Hi, I'm Alex and I run a catering company called Social Pantry. Today I'm going to show you a really simple dinner party winner. It's a really delicious main course, it can also be used as a starter, and it's without doubt going to impress your guests. So what we're cooking today is a lentil, monkfish and pancetta salad. We're going to mix through some baby spinach at the end. We're going to use this beautiful monkfish tail, which is going to be the meat in our dish. We're going to use lentils, which is beautifully high in protein, and we're going to fry off some pancetta so it's nicely crispy and brings together the whole dish, along with some fish stock, some white wine and some cream. So to start with, we're going to chop the celery. This dish is going to be enough for 4 people, so we're going to chop 4 heads or 4 sticks of celery, and just really rustically. The whole dish is really rustic, and the celery we're going to very gently sweat down with some butter. So nice big chunks of celery chopped, ready to fry. So monkfish has been really up and coming in the last decade. I used monkfish for my first ever cooking exam, and since then I've been using it throughout. Never used to be very highly regarded, but monkfish tail is absolutely gorgeous. It's so meaty, it's so fleshy, and despite it being one of the ugliest fishes you can come across, it's absolutely fantastically tasty as well. So lentils I discovered in the last year. In all honesty, I was a little bit scared of them before, but now I've realised they're so versatile and a brilliant source of protein. With lentils and cooking them, the key is to start them off in cold water so they cook from the outside in. This way you'll get them perfectly cooked. If you're a little bit scared of doing that, you can always buy them ready-made, but they taste fantastic and ultimately they're a brilliant source of protein and can replace any carbohydrate missing from a dish. So we're going to add in our celery, and this is going to slowly soften in the oil. What we're going to do is season our pan at this point, and throughout the dish we're going to carry on seasoning with salt and pepper. Be slightly gentle on the salt, just because obviously with the pancetta it can be a little bit on the salty side. So once your celery has softened and you've taken it out of the pan, it's time to get your pancetta in. And we want this to really be really rustic. All the fatty bits are absolutely delicious. Really important to get all of the flavour. And we're going to leave this to cook for 5-6 minutes, stirring it occasionally so that it really crisps up nicely. Just moving it around the pan so it doesn't stick to the bottom at any point. So keeping an eye on it, but making sure that all the juices fully glaze the pan. So once your bacon has shrunk a little bit inside your pancetta and that all the juices are gorgeously flowing out it, we're going to add in our monkfish. What we're going to do is we're going to slightly sear it on each side. It's going to be cooking amongst the beautiful juices of the pancetta. The monkfish won't take that long to cook. It's a very easy fish. You can see it going whiter and whiter the more it's cooked. Okay, so as you can see, once your monkfish is cooked on one side, you want to just turn it over using tongs. Keep your pancetta moving. Turn down the heat at this point if you're worried about it all stiffing. So that's absolutely gorgeous. Look at all of that. Okay, once you've flipped your pancetta and you know that it's cooking on the other side, you want to turn down your heat slightly, and at this point you're going to add back in the celery with the rosemary, and then the next 2 elements you're going to add and let it simmer on a lower heat for 5 minutes is your fish stock and your cream. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we've turned down the heat slightly and we're going to pour in the fish stock. You can either buy ready-made, or you can, if you've got some handy in your freezer, you can have homemade fish stock. Brilliant. This is going to mix beautifully with the pancetta. It's also going to cook the monkfish. And then at the very end, just before we season it again, we're going to add in 4 or 5 tablespoons of cream. Okay, now leave this to simmer for a good 4 or 5 minutes, just so the monkfish carries on gently cooking all the way through. Okay, so perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to just add in the wilted spinach. So you want a handful per person, so we've just put in 2 handfuls here, and this is just going to really gently, we've turned off the heat completely, and this is going to just gently wilt on top. Perfect. So look at that, all the gorgeous, gorgeous flavours coming through, mixing with the lentils. Absolutely delicious. If you wanted to leave out the cream to make it a slightly healthier dish, you're more than welcome. Big, big, big chunky bits of monkfish. You've got the crispy pancetta. You've got the lentils. Pop in one more handful of spinach. Mix that through, and then we're ready to plate up. Plenty of pancetta. The lentils have beautifully soaked up the cream and the fish stock. Brilliant. What we're going to garnish this with today is a little bit of red amaranth. This is just going to sit nicely on top. So there we have it. We have got our lentil, pancetta, monkfish and spinach salad